Hi friends. So today's video is going to be a pause and hold. So we're going to just hold some basic poses, minimal talking. You just want you to anchor in, tune into your breath. We'll take about 5 to 7 breaths in each pose. So we'll go over things like Warrior 1, Warrior 2, and our goal is to ultimately feel good. We'll start with a little warm up. So let's find ourselves in tabletop. So coming onto the hands and knees, anchoring yourself in a nice strong foundation. So make sure all your hips and knees are aligned, shoulders and wrists. And you might just start by rocking forward and back. Just start to warm up. Maybe let your eyes close and just start to tune into your breath. Feel free to pause in any areas. Remember, this is your practice, so do what you can, do what feels right. And then find yourself anchoring back into child's pose. Take 3 cycles of breath here. Take an inhale, ride it back on up to tabletop, hands and knees. Again, align those points, and then start to just flow through cat-cow. Allow a deep inhale to drop the belly, lift the heart, lift the tailbone. A solid, strong exhale drives through the mat, round the spine, pull your belly button in. And start to close your eyes, just move at your own pace with your breath, adding any movement that you need and taking out any movement. Take it one more time each direction, so one more deep breath. And then anchor it back once again, come back to child's pose. Maybe this time you bring the palms to touch, and you anchor the thumbs back. If this is the option you chose with prayer hands, take a moment, walk your elbows forward so that you can elongate the side body. And then we'll re-extend the arms out in front. Let's make our way to our first downward facing dog. This one we're not going to hold as long, but we'll find a little movement. So get nice and steady. Again, anchor is the name of the game today. Make sure you're anchoring through fingertips. Relax your shoulders away from the ears. Feel the chest pull back just a bit. Soften your knees if you need to. And then just start to pedal it out. Take your time, nice and slow. And find a moment of stillness. Take a full breath in through the nose. And sigh it out the mouth. We're going to walk our hands back to our feet. Come into a fold at the back of your mat, a little space between the feet. Make sure you're not locking your knees back. Keep them nice and soft. Any variation with your arms that feels good. You could just hang out. Maybe grab opposite elbows. Let the arms just hang, the head just hang. Let's roll ourselves up the spine all the way to stand. Once you get to the top, take a moment, anchor in. I'm just gonna turn to face you so that you can see me. But you stay facing forward on your mat. So a little space still between the feet is perfectly okay. Let's take a breath in. Inhale, rise up onto the toes. Maybe bring the gaze on up. Let your exhale pull the heels back on down, arms come down to the side. Maybe the gaze comes down to the feet. 2 more just like that. Inhale, rock up. Exhale, anchor, slow gaze down. 1 more, breathe it in. Woo. And breathe it out. This time we're gonna inhale, reach the arms up overhead. We're gonna interlace the fingers together, Kali Mudra if you wish, just leaving the pointer fingers out, crossing at the thumbs. Biceps towards the ears, feel a little extra length through those hips, take that breath. Let your exhale take you over to the right, let the hips pull to the left. Take your inhale back to center and your exhale over to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the right. Let's take this for 2 breaths. Inhale back to center. Take a moment, exhale at center. Inhale, grow a little taller. Integrity through those arms. Exhale to the left. We'll hold for 2 breaths. Inhale back to center. On the exhale, separate the hands, roll out the wrists, take it all the way down. Now today, when we're holding the poses a little longer, and we're holding them for several cycles of breath, let's make sure the breath isn't shallow, so the deeper the breath, the better. And when it feels challenging, when you almost feel like you want to give up, you want to straighten that leg, or you want to leave the pose. Now, of course, if it's bringing injury or pain, we come out of the pose. But if it's just more of a mental game, give it a deeper breath. Notice how your body reacts to a deeper breath, and you seem like you could anchor a little longer. So your breath is your power here in today's practice. So here we go. Again, we're facing the front of our mat. Take an inhale, ride the arms all the way up. Let the exhale swan dive on down, nice soft forward fold. Take a breath in, halfway lift. See if you can extend your spine, reach the crown of the head forward. Exhale, forward bend. Bend your knees so you can walk the hands on out, coming to a high plank. We'll just start with 3 breaths here in high plank. Maybe close your eyes. Remember, you can always be in half plank down on the knees. Together, we'll drop down to the knees, anchor back, child's pose, 3 breaths. Stay nice and low along your mat. Come forward right onto your belly. Set yourself up for cobra pose. So uncurl the toes, slide the hands to frame the upper rib cage. Elbows in, shoulders back. Breathe that heart space on up. Again, deeper breath. 1 more. Exhale it all the way down. Make a pillow with your hands. Rest the forehead on down. Take a breath. Hands are going to come back to frame out the chest. Curl the toes, press it up and back. Downward facing dog. We'll take 5 breaths here. So relax into the pose, anchor in. Let's move along. Inhale, right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog, 2 breaths. Focus on turning your hip down. Next, inhale, lifts the leg a little higher. Exhale, send it through. Warrior 1, spinning the back heel down on a 45. Rising up, anchoring into that bend, squaring everything on forward. Once you feel nice and anchored, again, it doesn't have to be completely deep. Find your shape, and then reach the arms on up. We're going to take 5 breaths in our Warrior 1. Find a drishti, a focal point on forward. Focus in on each breath. We're going to take the hands on down, frame out the foot. We're going to spin up onto that back heel. We'll step it in just a little bit, come into pyramid pose. Anchor your left hip down, your right hip back. Blocks if you need to bring the ground closer, or even taking a bend in that knee. Let the body just hang for a moment. And then we're going to inhale, halfway lift. See if you can find a little bit more space. Exhale and fold. We'll hold this pyramid for 3 breaths. Start to take a generous bend in the right leg, so you could step the left leg back, step the right leg back, high or half plank. 2 breaths, that's it. When you're ready, drop down to the knees, bump to the heels, child's pose. 2 breaths, any variation with your arms. Feel the chest space starting to melt down, feel the heart space opening up. Let the forehead rest down, mat or block, maybe even making a little pillow with the hands. We'll start to reach it on out. If we're not already there, make your way, downward facing dog. We'll come back into anchoring in for 5 breaths. Again, deep and complete breathing. Here we go. Let's inhale, left leg to the sky. 2 breaths in our 3-legged dog. Turn that hip down best you can. Inhale, heel lifts a little higher. Exhale, send it through, Warrior 1. Find your footing, anchor in. Bending into that front leg. Arms reach up when you feel comfortable. Again, we're taking 5 breaths here. Little minute movements take you deeper with each breath. Take another breath in. Exhale, hands come down, frame out the foot. Steady here, we'll step that back leg in a little bit. Coming into that pyramid pose, right hip zipping forward, left hip zipping back. Blocks if you need to, bend in the knee if you need to. We'll take that inhale halfway, let's see if you can extend your spine. Exhale, melt into the pose. All right, let's start to bend into that front leg. We're just gonna step the back leg up to meet the left. Forward fold, top of your space. We're gonna root to rise. Inhale all the way up, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take 3 full and complete breaths. Don't jip yourself on the exhales. Moving right along, inhale, reach the arms on up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. This time we're just gonna take a bend in the knees, step your right foot back. We're gonna spin the heel on down, anchor in for warrior 2. 5 breaths once we rise. Keep that bend nice and solid. Keep the heart space lifting, pause. Keep that bend, breathe a little deeper. We're gonna flip the front palm. Peaceful warrior, 2 deep breaths. Controlled inhale takes you back to warrior 2. Feel that heat in that leg. Cartwheel the hands on down. Runner's lunge, pause here. Keep the hips low. Keep a long spine, belly in. And then we're gonna plant the hands on down, step it back, high plank, 2 breaths. Drop down to the knees, bump to the heels, child's pose again, only 2 breaths. Let's make our way downward facing dog. 5 breaths here, anchor into the pose. Bend your knees, walk, step, or hop, feet to hands, forward bend. Once you get there, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to send ourselves right into it. So we'll bend the knees, anchor the hands. Left foot is going to step back. Spin the heel on down, rise on up for that strong warrior 2. Again, name of the game today is anchor. So we're going to find those 5 breaths. Scan the pose. How does the body feel? Breathe a little deeper. All right, we'll keep that generous bend, flip the front palm. 2 breaths in reverse warrior. Inhale, rises us all the way up. Exhale, cartwheel the hands on down. Knee over ankle, runner's lunge. Pull the hips nice and low. Spine nice and long. Step it back, high plank. Push it back, downward facing dog. We're gonna bend the knees. We're either gonna walk, stepping 1 foot at a time, or hopping up to Malasana Yogi Squat. So the toes go out, the heels go in. You could always sit on a block. You could always keep your hands down. We're going to anchor the hip points. If the hands can come to heart, press into the palms, thumbs into the heart, heart lifts to the thumbs. We're going to take 5 breaths. When it starts to feel tough and like you want to give up, where does the mind go? Bring it back to that breath. 1 more. And then we're going to slowly anchor the tushan down. Maybe a little rock of the knees from side to side. Just release your hips. And we're going to take it to boat pose, Navasana. So ground yourself on your feet to start. Already thinking lift in the heart, think internal hug, so we're driving the center of the body in. Hands to the back of the thighs, keep that lift. See if you could start to come up one toe, and then the other. You might pause here. Toes might stay down, it might be light on the toes. Maybe extending the arms, 5 breaths. Plant the feet on down. Give yourself a nice tight hug with the head and neck relaxed. And then you can lower yourself all the way down onto the back. Once you get there, take a moment, draw the knees into the chest, rock side to side. And then just make some circles with the knees. Let them go in opposing directions. I call these butterfly circles. And then let your circles go the other direction. And then we're going to plant the feet on down. Align yourself for bridge pose. So get nice and steady, heels in, a little space between the feet, not wider than the body, in line with the hips. Arms down to the sides. We're going to take bridge pose. Option when you get there to interlace the fingers together, or just hang out with the hips nice and high. We're going to take 5 strong breaths. Here we go. Drive through those feet. Inhale, lift the hips. Maybe interlacing those fingers, rolling the chest open. See if you can lift a little higher. Chin tucks towards the chest. 4 more breaths. One more inhale. And then exhale, slowly roll down. One more time, knees into the chest. Give yourself that hug. All right, let's anchor into Shavasana, starting to extend the legs, getting any little shakes, any little wiggles on out. Start by bringing a hand to the belly, maybe a hand to the heart, or 2 hands onto the belly. Take this time to reconnect to your breath. Start to allow the body to anchor down. Letting go of any tension, just let it get heavy. Let the eyes gently close and your awareness to drift to your breath. Feeling the rise and fall of the belly. Maybe letting the hands anchor down to the side. Start to follow each and every breath. You can hang out here for 30 seconds, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, your choice. Enjoy a nice Shavasana after your anchoring practice. I thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you in studio here at Seaside Park. Leave us any comments or feedback below. Thank you.